And now he's back. He seems like he's in good spirits. And on behalf of Bryce Mitchell's fruit trees, which were vandalized and destroyed by his ex-girlfriend last week, I think Bryce Mitchell is going to come into fight week motivated. He's ready to take out his anger.
What do you hear? What do you say? This is how to up your parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, and I'm joined once again by Jesse Rowe. Jesse, UFC Vegas 79 is on deck this Saturday, headlined by Mateusz Gamrot versus Rafael Fiziev, two Eastern Europeans in the lightweight division going to throw down. We've also got Bryce Mitchell, the pride of Appalachia. I actually think he's from Kentucky. I forgot where.
Arkansas.
Arkansas, there we go. I'm
Yeah.
way off.
Yeah. Bill Clinton territory. We know he's a big Bill Clinton fan.
And versus Dan Ige. So we got some featherweights. Dan Ige rocking Hawaii. Let's jump right into it. Michelle Waterson versus Marina Rodriguez. Rodriguez is a 310 favorite, minus 310, and the Karate Hottie is a plus 250. It has not been good for the Karate Hottie lately. She is 1-4 in her last 5, 3 straight losses. I think her last one was a split decision loss, so at least one judge thought she won. But one of those losses was actually against Marina Rodriguez, who is 3-2 in her last 5, but she is also coming off back-to-back losses. Both of these women desperately need a win. I think Marina Rodriguez is someone who is expected to be, higher up in the division, more along in her career at this point. So, Jesse, what do you make of this fight?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the odds with Marina at a minus 310. You're tempted to take Waterson seriously as a plus 250, just simply because she's actually won some big fights before. I think that the odds are correct for Marina, and I'm not going to take her outright, but I think this is a very tough fight for Waterson. I think being 1-4, it just looks like she's on the bad end of a run, and
yeah.
I like Marina in this fight, but I'm more interested in the value portion of betting on specific winning method, because I just don't like the odds enough to put any money down on it.
Yeah, it's a rough. This might be the end of the Karate Hottie. I mean, she's 1-4 in her last 5. She lost against Rodriguez already. That was back in 2021, unanimous decision, 49-46 on 2 scorecards. So it wasn't really that close of a fight. There are some value bets to look at. Rodriguez by KO is a plus 400, and Rodriguez by decision is a minus 165. I think Marina by decision is probably the safest bet. She already beat Waterson by decision. So it's minus 165 is not great odds if you want to, get a lot of money back, but it's certainly better than minus 310. However, if you have faith in the Karate Hottie, if you think she's going to right the wrongs, get the ship rolling in the right way, Waterson by decision, plus 350. All right, moving right along, everyone's favorite fighter, Bryce Mitchell. He's going to be rocking the camo shorts. He is a minus 205 favorite against Dan Ige, who is a plus 130. So Mitchell is 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off his first loss in a non-exhibition bout. He was submitted by Ilia Topuria at UFC 282. I believe our man in the field, Andrew Capichetti, got an interview with Ilia right after that fight. So, but before that, Bryce Mitchell was undefeated, other than his loss to Brad Katona and Tough. And Dan Ige, he's 2-3 in his last 5, but those 2 wins are his last 2 fights. Jesse, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking at the odds, and I gotta tell you, like, Dan Ige at a plus 130 is very nice. He's a guy. He's obviously got thunder in his hands. He knocked out Damon Jackson, I think, in his last fight. Very impressive knockout.
No, Landwehr was his last fight.
Oh, Landwehr, sorry. Yeah. Damon Jackson before that. So, that being said, I think, Bryce Mitchell went on the UFC media day this week and talked about his last fight against Ilia Topuria. I mean, he got absolutely smoked in that fight. I mean, the photos of Bryce's face afterwards were not pretty. He got fucked up, and but he was fighting with the flu, and he's made this point now, whether you believe him or not. He says that he was fighting with the flu, that he was very sick during fight week while he was cutting weight too. So just all of those things add up, and he thought that he could go in and have a good performance, and it showed. He was not himself. He had to back out of his last fight because some sort of shoulder thing. And now he's back. He seems like he's in good spirits. And on behalf of Bryce Mitchell's fruit trees, which were vandalized and destroyed by his ex-girlfriend last week, I think Bryce Mitchell is going to come into fight week motivated. He's ready to take out his anger, his personal life, and for love of his God-given American country. He is. I think he's gonna put in a good performance against Dan Ige. I do like Bryce Mitchell in this fight, and I'm gonna say, I'm looking here at your notes, and Bryce Mitchell by decision, minus 115, suggests to me he's kind of a decision machine. That's where they think this fight's going to go. It's going to be 3 rounds of control time for Bryce Mitchell. So I understand it. However, I'm looking at plus 500 for submission, and I'm absolutely entranced by it. I love it, and I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm absolutely going to put some money down. Plus 500, Bryce Mitchell by submission, or you throw him by decision into a parlay. One of those two. That would be my strategy on betting this.
You can also, I didn't include it in the notes.
Money line Bryce Mitchell into a parlay. My apologies.
You can double dip Bryce Mitchell by submission or by decision. That's probably the way to go.
Okay.
And Bryce Mitchell actually has more submissions than decisions in his career.
Those are great odds. That's shocking to me. He also has the twister, one of the few twister submissions in UFC. Yeah. I think Bryce Mitchell absolutely is going to get this fight to the ground, and I could see a second round, late first round submission happening in this fight. I could see it.
It is worth noting 2 things about that, though. Dan Ige's never been finished. All of his losses have been by decision, and also none of Bryce Mitchell's submission victories have come in the UFC. They were all before he entered the UFC. He's sort of entered that decision machine phase.
First time for everything. He's a young fighter. I still like it.
Yeah, I think Mitchell by submission plus 500. You got to at least consider it. I think if you're going to go that route, probably safe to go the double chance where you go submission or decision. But I think Ige by KO is a plus 400. That's a very interesting one. Mitchell showed a very good chin against Ilia Topuria, who is a cracking knockout artist. So maybe Mitchell has a very good chin, but maybe he took some damage. Maybe Ige catches him with something. You never know. Ige by decision's also a plus 450. So if you like Dan Ige, you could probably double dip on the KO or decision, double chance that as well. All right, and into that main event, a battle of Eastern European lightweights. This one is crazy. Rafael Fiziev is a minus 155 favorite versus Mateusz Gamrot, who is a plus 130 underdog. These guys sort of represent the new wave at lightweight, the younger guys who are supposed to come up and really start challenging for that title in the future. Fiziev is a virtuoso striker. He is the first man to knock out RDA on the feet. Mateusz Gamrot's known for his wrestling. I believe Fiziev is from Kyrgyzstan and Mateusz Gamrot is from Poland, right? I hope I got that. And Fiziev is 4-1 his last 5. He is coming off that loss against Justin Gaethje at UFC 286. But he's got some big wins in his career. Like I said, RDA. He also beat Brad Riddell, knocked him out. He beat Bobby Green. He beat Renato Moicano. So Fiziev's been in there with a lot of really good guys. Now, Gamrot is also 4-1 in his last 5. He's coming over a split decision victory over Jalen Turner, friend of the channel. I actually thought Jalen Turner won that fight personally. I thought he did more damage in the fight. For some reason, the judges went with the control time. But before that, he lost to Benil. He has big wins over Arman Tsarukyan and Jeremy Stevens. So these are both guys with a ton of potential. Jesse, what do you make of this fight?
Yeah, this is really close. I like both guys in this fight. This is an interesting matchup of styles here. My mind tells me Fiziev, but I'm leaning towards Gamrot for a couple of reasons here. And in the Gaethje fight, Fiziev was winning that first round, he really seemed to gas out in that fight. Now, I know that happens from fighting that high-paced style against Justin Gaethje. He took a lot of damage. There's a viral photo of his face where it's all bloody at the end of it. And I thought Gaethje was going to win that fight. The reason why I'm leaning towards Gamrot is for that reason, where I'm concerned about Gaethje or about Fiziev sort of gassing out somewhere in like the middle of the second round, and Gamrot being able to kind of do to Fiziev what he did to Turner, which was eventually like, hey, getting pieced up in the first round and then win on a control time. And Gamrot by decision at plus 240 is very interesting to me. I could see a situation where it's a control time over damage scenario, especially in a fight like this, over 5 rounds. I'm worried about Fiziev gassing out a little early in this fight, and then Gamrot stealing a couple of the late rounds. And I like Gamrot by decision at plus 240. I like that.
Yeah, and looking at the guys who Fiziev has fought, he hasn't fought a guy like Arman Tsarukyan or Mateusz Gamrot, who sort of have this relentless wrestling style. So in a lot of sense, this is your classic striker versus grappler matchup. And that's what makes it so intriguing, because we don't know how well Fiziev's takedown defense. He does have a very good takedown defense. Just want to throw that out there. But Mateusz Gamrot is a guy who's going to spam takedowns over and over. He has great cardio. He takes people down. And like we saw in the Turner fight, when he was getting in trouble on the feet, he immediately switched the game plan and went to the takedowns and salvaged the fight on the scorecard. So I think Mateusz Gamrot is a pretty interesting bet. By decision plus 240, you got to consider it. And you know, I don't really know. This fight feels like a toss-up.
Yeah.
And just so the fans know, Fiziev by knockout is a plus 175. So that is a very good method to victory for Fiziev. Obviously, he's the only guy who's knocked out RDA on the feet. And I think he's going to win. Instead of minus 155 on the money line, you can get plus 175 in the value bets.
Like it.
So I don't think I gave a firm pick there, but I'm going to go ahead and I don't know.
Yeah, you can just tell people not to bet on it.
I'm going to go with Fiziev just because I'm a little partial to the strikers. Anderson Silva was my favorite fighter.
I don't blame you.
The Muay Thai guys who have a lot of those lean back moves like Fiziev has, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Before we go, is there one last bet? We got a minute left here. One last bet that you're interested in this card.
One bet that I feel very confident in, Muhammad Usman, who is the brother of Kamaru Usman, who was actually interviewed with us. I believe he interviewed with you on 5 Minutes to Fight.
I interviewed him twice.
What? The great guy. He's fighting Jake Collier, who is really a light heavyweight who's been fighting at heavyweight and has been losing a lot. I think Collier is something like 1-5 in his last 6 fights. It has not been going good for him. He got knocked out by oh my God, I forgot his name. The chubby guy who does the spinning back fists and the back flips.
Oh yeah, the black dude. Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, Barnett. Not Josh Barnett.
Barnett. Chris Barnett? No.
Chris Barnett. I think it's Chris Barnett.
Yeah. I love it. I'm looking at it. Plus 400. Usman over Collier. Collier is a punching bag right now in his last couple of fights. I love it. I think this is an excellent pick. As a lock too at plus 300 as for a KO. I love it. I'm running to the fucking casino with that one, brother.
Muhammad Usman via KO plus 300. Just throw it in your plays. Whatever your other picks are, you got to go with that. But that was How to Fuck Up Your Parlay. I'm Timmy Shoes with Inside Fighting, joined once again by our editor-in-chief, Jesse Rowe. You can find us on the socials. We're on X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I already said Twitter.
Yeah, whatever.
InsideFighting.com. Peace out.
Peace.